Let's see what this is all about. Chronic mouth breathing may be associated with erectile dysfunction. No, not gonna work. Ah. Yo, what is up? Welcome back to another week of How to Health. My name is Kevin. I run liftandbalance.com, where we take aim at all things health and do it in an odd, weird, interesting, and highly sarcastic manner. Today, we are taking a journey into a truly lost art in the Western world. An autonomic function that we do upwards of 25,000 times a day and don't even think twice about, and how it might be impacting our modern day health woes. We are talking about the art of breath. And how this often overlooked, kind of important piece of our existence has shifted from its natural evolutionary tendencies and become an area of concern for modern day health. So in the next 13 minutes and 23 seconds, I was like taking a stab at how long these videos take, we will be talking about the evolutionary shifts that our breath has taken, what's gone wrong, the criticality that it plays in our health, and a few tips to get your breathing back on track, and thus, hopefully, your health. So before we begin, I wanna make sure you're ready. So inhale through your nose, 3, 4, 5, hold, and exhale through the mouth, 3, 4, 5. Okay, much better. First, a brief history. The evolutionary missteps. Breath, the absorption of oxygen and the release of carbon dioxide, has been supporting our existence for, well, ever. And it's not just us. Pretty much every living organism has a similar form of gas exchange that facilitates the production of energy and allows them to sustain life. And interestingly, the literature suggests that the power of breath was actually discovered and implemented across several ancient cultures for thousands of years. The problem is, this practice of breathing seems to be one of those things that has gone through cycles of being forgotten and rediscovered.
Hey, this isn't where I parked my car.
And I think we're in like a rediscovery phase. Now, to make a very long story short, the first evident issues showing the problem with the way humans breathe is thought to have arisen several hundred to 2,000 years ago, with the abundance and popularity of modern agriculture and food processing. The lack of hard foods in their natural forms, along with the abundance of soft foods, often nutrient-stripped and deprived foods, is thought to be a catalyst in slowly altering the shape and formation of our nasal cavity and jaw, creating a more narrow mouth with a higher roof and thus a smaller nasal cavity. A lot of pointing. And when archaeologists look at skulls over the past 500 years, there is clear structural evidence in the skulls of those who lived in an urban city area. Urban areas that come with a higher likelihood of processed foods being available. This structural change is thought to be a potential driver for a downstream flurry of health occurrences. First, making it harder to breathe through our nose, leading us to chronic mouth breathing, deformation of the jaw, and crooked teeth. Humans happen to be the only species with chronic crooked teeth and breathing problems. When researchers look into modern indigenous tribes that have stayed pretty much isolated from the Western world, they actually find that they have pretty flawless teeth. And no, they don't have a dentist on staff, unless they're hiding something. And finally, this deformation is thought to play an impact on one of the most important parts of our health, one we talk about in depth on this channel: sleep. Sleep apnea, snoring, is essentially a form of slight choking in our sleep, gasping for air. Kind of serious. So whether we like it or not, knew it or not, we are here in this modern age, riddled with poor breathing, soft food, and supposed magic pills. There's no changing the past, so might as well focus on altering the future. Elon Musk, can we do that yet? No? Okay. So let's look a tad bit deeper on why it's probably a good idea for you to invest in learning about this key function of life: the importance of breath to our health. When it comes down to brass tacks, I still don't know what that phrase means, our nose has evolved with the respiratory system, while our mouth has evolved with the digestive system. Yes, like many other systems throughout our bodies, breathing, an essential function of life, comes with a failsafe. It could be accomplished via the nose or the mouth. I don't believe the ears have been confirmed yet. But that doesn't mean they're both equal in terms of their impact on our health, because they're not. And we break down many of the benefits of nose breathing in this video here. The simple truth here is chronic mouth breathing has become a chronic problem across modern society. When you breathe through your mouth, you forego the vast benefits of breathing with your respiratory system's natural breath apparatus, the nose, in case you forgot. Nose breathing filters our air, humidifies and warms it, preparing it for optimal absorption once it hits the lungs. Its passageways have natural mucus pockets that trap pathogens trying to enter and introduce them to our friends, the immune system. It also increases nitric oxide levels, which dilates blood vessels, improving blood flow, lowering blood pressure, and optimizing oxygen and carbon dioxide transport. And here's something I bet you didn't know: the nose actually has erectile tissue in it, giving it a clear connection to most male and female reproductive organs. And guess how that magic pill that keeps couples together works? By increasing nitric oxide in the blood, improving blood flow, improving circulation, keeping couples together, or doing other things. I don't know. I was talking about Viagra. Nasal breathing also improves your oxygen efficiency, allowing you to take in and absorb more oxygen with less breaths. A clear case where less can be more. It also improves posture. You try slouching when intentionally breathing through your nose. Doesn't work too well. I experienced this firsthand when I switched to nasal breathing for exercise. You can only breathe in certain positions, so you find out the hard way and you adjust pretty quickly. Oh, you want more? Deep, intentional belly breath is actually the fastest hack you have to change your entire physiological state. The diaphragm, the umbrella-like muscle at the bottom of your lungs, regulates your inhales and exhales. And the simple truth is, many of us barely use it. This puts us in a state of chronic chest breathing, trapping gases in the bottom of our lungs and putting us in a degraded state compared to our breathing potential. And when this muscle is used intentionally with deep belly breathing, we can hack our nervous system, putting us in a parasympathetic state or a rest and digest state, down-regulating the signals of stress throughout our body and putting us in a state of tranquility. Why do you think monks are so chill? Yes, please. I'll take that. You know, give me a side of Zen too. Appreciate it. Oh, and while we're at it, here's another fun fact. Chock full of them today. The lungs are the main place where we release the byproducts of fatty acid oxidation. Not sweat, not urine, not the other thing, the lungs. So deep, intentional breath may be a smart thing to do. But how? Tips and tricks to breathe better. All right, so hopefully by now I've convinced you to consider transitioning to a full-time nasal breather. At the very least, hopefully I entertained you a little bit. Time check? Right on track. Here are some tips and tricks to help you get started. First, like with everything else, baseline your habits. Observe your breathing habits. Do you breathe with your mouth or your nose? Deep breaths or short breaths? Are you getting air down into your belly? What about during exercise? Do you snore? Do you have any way to track your respiratory rate, your breaths per minute? I use a tracker called the Oura Ring, but there are plenty others that do it. Next, do you have any pre-existing conditions that are stopping you from nasal breathing? For example, asthma, allergies, constant sinus issues, deviated septums, any things of that nature. If you do have any of these conditions, you may want to search out a doctor that prioritizes root cause analysis and reversal rather than just symptom management. Then, once you have all that down, begin to make the shift to nasal breathing. Implementing a simple breathing practice can make all the difference here. A simple common technique is box breathing. 5-second inhale, 5-second hold, 5-second exhale. Doing this for 10 minutes each day can have profound health impacts, strengthening your diaphragm, improving your oxygen efficiency, and overall health. And of course, you want to adjust to your respiratory level. So if you can only do 2 seconds or 3 seconds, start there and work your way up. Like everything else, you gotta be flexible. You gotta modify. Everyone's in different conditions. Modify away. Also, there are a ton of different techniques you can find with a simple Google search. So I urge you, explore. Brian McKenzie from Power Speed Endurance is one of my favorites, as well as the Iceman himself, Wim Hof. And an interesting book that can help you get started is Breath by James Nestor. As you get a little more advanced, there's some interesting research showing that double inhales, hold, and exhale actually activates the same pathways as yawning does, thus triggering the parasympathetic rest or digest nervous system. So this would look like another cool progression is shorter inhales and longer exhales. For example, 5-second inhale, hold, and 8-second exhale. This increases CO2 in the body, a powerful compound that attracts oxygen to the cell without altering oxygen levels at all. I'm currently exploring techniques around mouth taping when I sleep and go for walks. This is where you take a little piece of medical tape and you plop it right there, and it shuts it. I'm surprised more mothers don't use this. Now that I think of it, it would have multiple benefits. One, it would promote proper breathing within the children. And two, it would probably reduce mothers' and fathers' stress levels. Win-win. Again, there are a ton of videos on this technique, so go explore the interwebs. And lastly, the obligatory health PSA for basically every single one of my videos. Eat less processed and more real foods. And chew. Like that. Harder foods will build up the bone and muscle strength in your jaw and may even help add bone density, which although not widely accepted has been shown to happen. And that's it. We have these funny shaped things protruding out of our face for a reason. Use them. Your body will thank you. Your longevity will too. As always, let me know if you have any questions, comments, or random thoughts down below. It smells like someone's heating up my leftover. Hey, what are you? I'll see you next week. Hey!